Hi, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to be looking at the Goodreads Choice Awards 2022 winners. I'm actually really interested to see who's won and where all of the books have ranked, and I'm going to look obviously at the ones I voted for, seeing where they've ended up. I have to say I haven't actually read very many of them, so I didn't vote for very many at all, and then I'm going to start compiling a bit of a TBR for 2023. So let's just dive right in. First up is the fiction category, and the winner with almost 91,000 votes is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and that one is firmly on my 2023 TBR. Before it even won, I definitely had my eye on that one. And then second place is Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult. Now, I have actually read one of her books. It was called Vanishing Acts, and I read it years and years and years ago, and from what I remember, I did enjoy it. So I might give that one a go because it's got second place, and it's about a couple, and they're going to go to the Galapagos Islands, and she thinks he's going to propose to her, and then it's the start of the coronavirus pandemic, and he's a doctor, so he has to stay. She goes on holiday by herself, and I think then they enter the complete lockdown. So kind of interested in that one. And like I say, she's written so many books. I think she's written just dozens of books. So yeah, I'd like to try and pick up another one of her books. And then in third place, we have The Winners by Fredrik Backman. Now, I definitely want to read that one, but I still haven't read the second book in the series yet. So I need to read that one first, and then I can read that one. But I'm thinking I will probably reread Beartown because that's one of my favourite books of all time, and it'd be nice to get back into that world with those characters before I read the second book, because it's been a few years since I've read it. So yes, definitely interested in that one. Now, fourth place is Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I did have my eye on that one when they announced the nominees, because it's about a woman who goes to an aquarium. She starts working there, and she kind of makes a friendship with an octopus, and it sounds really kind of wholesome and heartwarming, and I'm just really intrigued. So yes, now I'm not going to go through all 20 of the rankings because we'll be here forever. So I'm kind of looking at like the top 5 or 6, we'd say. And then the next one is, I can't quite read that, The Hotel Nantucket. Now, I don't know that one at all. I have to say, I'm not particularly interested in it, unless you've read it and it's amazing. Yeah. And then sixth place is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng, and that's the only one I have read from the fiction category, and I liked it. I gave it 4 stars, but I have to say it wasn't as good for me as her previous 2 novels. I loved Everything I Never Told You and Little Fires Everywhere, and this one, it was a good book. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a 5-star read, so I actually didn't vote in this category, I don't think, but I did enjoy it and I would recommend it. So let's just see, which ones was I also interested in? I was interested in Notes on an Execution. It hasn't done very well. What's the ranking about? 4, 8, 10th place, but definitely still interested in reading Notes on an Execution. I know it's about a man who is on death row, and I think we see different perspectives from women in his life. So I thought that one sounded interesting. And then, oh, that's interesting. This Time Tomorrow didn't have as many votes. What's that one? Oh, 4, 8, 12, 13th place. I was getting confused with that one, and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and This Time Tomorrow. I got a little bit confused. I wanted to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and I think I ordered This Time Tomorrow from the library. I didn't end up picking up anyway because it had to go back before I could read it. But I think I'm more interested in the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. But yeah, I still think I might pick up This Time Tomorrow. And then the other ones that kind of had caught my eye was True Biz, and that's quite low. What's that? 4, 8, 12, 15th. Yeah, I still think I might pick that one up. I think that one was one of the Reese's Book Club picks, and I was thinking about spending a month because I'm doing themed TBRs now. I was thinking about having 1 month and reading Reese's Book Club picks from 2022. So I think that one might go in there. So we'll see what that one's like. And yeah, I don't think I'm really interested in reading any of the others. So that is the fiction category. So the next one is the mystery and thriller category, and the winner is The Maid, and I definitely want to read that. It got 78,000, just over 78,000 votes. So yeah, I definitely want to read that book. That one is firmly on my 2023 TBR. So let's see. Second place is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. Now, I did say I wasn't going to read anything else by Lucy Foley because I read The Hunting Party by her. I didn't like it, I gave it 2 stars, so I kind of thought she just wasn't the author for me, but as she's got 2nd place, I might have to pick that one up. Perhaps. 3rd place is The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. That's the one I voted for. I love that book. I love the whole series. I gave it 5 stars. So yeah, that was my winner. And third place is very respectable. 4th place is A Flicker in the Dark, which again, firmly on my TBR for 2023, interested in that one. And then 5th place is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Again, she's another author I want to read. I did have a book out by her from the library, and again, it was one of those, it had to go back before I could read it. So yeah, definitely interested in that one. And then I said I wasn't going to go much past 5th place, but there's more I'm interested in on mystery thriller. So 6th place is Wrong Place, Wrong Time. And yes, definitely want to read that one. It's like a science fiction kind of thriller. And that's also a Reese's Book Club pick. So I was thinking of reading that one and True Biz and a couple of others when I decide to do my month of Reese's Book Club picks. I've heard some things about Killers of a Certain Age, and that's in, what place is that? 7th place. Might give it a go, but I've heard it's not... I've heard like mixed things. I've heard some people really love it, and I've heard some people just being a bit disappointed, so we'll see. And then Ruth Ware's The It Girl is in 8th place. I thought that would be a lot higher, actually. I definitely do want to read that. I've read, how many books have I read by her? I've had one that I really enjoyed, The Turn of the Key. I think I gave that one either 4 or 5 stars. And then I think I've DNF'd one of her earlier books. So we'll see. Definitely want to pick it up. And then there's the Alice Feeney book, Daisy Darker. I thought that would be higher up. That is what, 4, 8, 10th. I read one of Alice Feeney's books last year, Rock, Paper, Scissors, didn't like it, 2 stars. And similar to Lucy Foley, had kind of written Alice Feeney off. But I might pick it up because I've heard quite a lot of buzz about it. Now, the only one I've also read, the second one I read The Bullet That Missed, was The Golden Couple, and that's what, for a 12th place. I didn't like that at all. I gave it 2 stars. I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, it wasn't any good, to be honest with you. I was interested in Things We Do in the Dark. That's in, what place is that in? They should have the actual number next to it, so I don't need to keep counting. That's in 13th place. New Lisa Jewell is in 14th place. The Family Remains. I've literally just read, what have I read recently? The Family Upstairs by her, and I really didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. So I've kind of written her off as well. I'm writing off so many really popular thriller authors recently. So like Lisa Jewell, Lucy Foley, and the other one I've completely blanked on. What was it? Alice Feeney, Lisa Jewell, Alice Feeney, Lucy Foley. But I may give them all another shot. I mean, I've literally just filmed a video to say I'm not going to read any more books by Lisa Jewell. But we'll see how it goes. And I was interested in Jewell, and I was interested in The Family Game. And I think they're in, what are they in? 4, 8, 12, 16, 17th place and 19th place. But then I've heard some bad things about Jewell recently. They had a bit of a buzz about it, and then lots of people don't seem to be liking it. I've heard some good things about The Family Game. I think that was a Book of the Month pick. So yeah, definitely want to read The Maid. May or may not pick up the Lucy Foley. We'll just see how I feel on the day. A Flicker in the Dark, yes, I want to. And the Simone St. James, yes, I want to. And Wrong Place, Wrong Time. And the New Ruth Ware. There's quite a lot I want to read on there. So yes, I'd read 2. My winner made it to 3rd place. And the one I really didn't like is in 12th, so that's fine. So what's next? Historical fiction. So that's no surprises. It's Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I love that book. That was my vote for this. It's the only book I had read on the whole 20, but I felt happy to vote for it because I just loved it so much. I read that one on holiday, and it was such a great read. I loved the relationship between father and daughter, and it made me very emotional. It made me cry. I loved it. I thought it was great. So I'm glad that that is the winner. And then what did it get? Just over 100,000 votes. I think that's a worthy winner, to be honest. And I don't think it's any surprises that Taylor Jenkins Reid has won because she's obviously very popular. So let's see the next one. So 2nd place is Lessons in Chemistry. I have heard so many people talking about that book. I've just seen it everywhere, like in bookshops, everywhere. Definitely want to read it, definitely interested in that. That got 92,000, so kind of close for Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think that's a debut novel as well, so that's pretty impressive. Not really interested in third place is, what's that? Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, and then fourth place is The Diamond Eye. Don't think I'm really interested in those, but fifth place I am, Black Cake. That was another one, I had it out from the library, wanted to read it, had to go back, so I will be getting Black Cake again. And then The Marriage Portrait, I definitely want to read that. What place is that? That's seventh place. That will be, I mean, it'll kind of be my first Maggie O'Farrell. I did try and read Hamnet either this month or last month, and I think it was last month. I put it down. I just don't think I was in the mood for it, but I've heard it's really good, so I will pick it up again. Just not yet. I was going to pick it back up in November actually, and then like December happened, and I had to catch up on all my other books that I left like 3 or 4 books halfway through, which is on me. It took me a while to like catch back up again. So yeah. Any here that I'm really interested in? I'm interested in the Kate Atkinson book, Shrines of Gaiety, which is, what's that? 4, 8, 12, 16th place. I've never read any Kate Atkinson, but I know she's really popular. So I'm quite surprised it's so low down. I thought Kate Atkinson was a very popular author, and 16th place is quite low. But no, it sounds quite interesting, and I don't think I'm really interested in any of the others. Nothing's like jumping out at me anyway, so yeah. Very happy that Carrie Soto is back one. I love that. Definitely my winner, and it is the winner. Definitely want to read Lessons in Chemistry, Black Cake, Marriage Portrait, Kate Atkinson's Shrines of Gaiety. So yeah, that's historical fiction. Now I'm going to have a little look at fantasy. I haven't read anything. I don't read much fantasy. So the Sarah J Maas book won. Not surprising, she's very popular, with 105,000. And then, so I think the only ones I'm really interested in, to be honest, I'm interested in the Atlas 6, which is in 4th place. And then I'm interested in, which one was it? It's a long way down. The Book Eaters. I was interested in that. I thought it had like an interesting kind of premise, like people eating books. I kind of like the concept. I thought it was quite unique and interesting. So let's see. So yeah, the Atlas 6 is in 4th place, and that's in 4, 8, 12, 13th place, The Book Eaters. So it's not very high up. And that's probably it for fantasy for me. Just kind of going to dip my toes into that and probably try those 2. Skipping romance because I don't read it. So science fiction, which is actually one of my favourite ones this year. It's one of my favourite ones this year, I was going to say. But having said that, the ones that made it, I've read some this year that came out this year that I loved, didn't make it to the Goodreads Choice Awards, and the science fiction that I read this year that I really disliked did, and one of them has won, which is quite funny. So the winner is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel, and she got 59,000, it's basically 60,000 votes, we'll say 60,000. I DNF'd that one. I picked it up. I wasn't very keen on the writing style. I didn't really care about the characters, and it's right up my street. That, like, the whole premise of the book is completely up my street, and I just wasn't enjoying it. I just wasn't engaged, so I DNF'd that one. I may have to pick it up again. Generally, as a rule, I don't want to pick up a book I've DNF'd again, but as it's won the whole science fiction category, I might have to. Wasn't really interested in, like, these ones. So the next one I was interested in was 4th place, How High We Go in the Dark. That one looked good. Then the other one I had read. So yeah, I'd only read 2 from science fiction, one of which was a DNF and one of which was a 2-star. And the 2-star was Upgrade by Blake Crouch, and that's got 5th place. I didn't like it. It just wasn't good. I've got a rant review on it. If you're interested in any rant reviews, I'll link some of my, the ones I really like, I'll link my book reviews. The ones I really didn't like, I'll link my rant reviews. If you want to hear like my more detailed thoughts, otherwise this video will be very long. I was very interested in reading The Measure, and that's got 6th place. I was interested in reading The Keiju Preservation Society, that's got 8th place. Anyone else here? I was interested in Leech and Self-Portrait with Nothing, and Lost in Time, and Mickey 7, and Primitives, and none of those have ranked very well. So what's Leech? It's 4, 8, 12. So Leech is 13th place, Self-Portrait with Nothing is 14th place, Lost in Time is 15th place, Mickey 7 is 17th, and Primitives is last. Sorry, I meant 18th. Primitives is last, 20th place. How many? Oh, it didn't even get 1,000 votes. Maybe it's just not a very well-known book. But when I hadn't heard of them, to be honest, most of these from the bottom until the nominees, and then I had like a bit of a deep dive looking at every single book and trying to like make a little TBR of everything I was interested in, and then with the knowledge that seeing which ones are the most popular, I'd probably try and prioritize some of those, because you know, if more people are loving them, you know, maybe I'm going to enjoy them more. I don't know, there's maybe not much logic there. So horror, let's see, I've read a couple of the horror, which was surprising because I don't read much horror. Oh, so the winner is Hidden Pictures, got 35,000 votes, and I thought that was fine. I didn't vote in the horror because I didn't really like any of them, so I didn't vote. I didn't think it was fair. So yeah, Hidden Pictures, it was kind of like, it was fine. I gave it 3 stars, but a very low 3 stars, and that was only because of the illustrations. Like, the pictures in the book are excellent and they do add so much to the story. I don't know how I feel about the ending, and it's not very memorable. It's pretty forgettable, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think if it didn't have the beautiful illustrations, I would have given it 2 stars. But I gave it 3, a low 3, because they were excellent and it did add to the reading experience. So yeah, I can't say if that's a worthy winner or not, because I didn't like either of the 2 I read, and I haven't read any of the other 18. So the next one, second place, is The Hacienda. I'm kind of like mildly interested in that one. The third place, What Moves the Dead. Fourth place is the Stephen King. Probably not interested in any of these, to be honest. I am interested in Our Wives Under the Sea. That one sounds good, and that's what, 6th place. I've heard some people talk about The Children on the Hill, so that's 7th place. I might look at that. Now, here are the ones I'm interested in. The Violence and Just Like Mother. Very interested in both of those. That's 4, 8. So that's 9th place for The Violence and 10th place for Just Like Mother. They got like a 10,000 votes each. Not really interested in any of these. Now, I'm interested in We Spread by Ian Reid, mainly because Gabby Reed's read it and loved it. What was that? What place is that? It's quite low. It's only got 3,000 votes. So 4, 8, 12, 14th place. I was kind of interested in Shrek. What was that? Such sharp teeth. I probably won't pick it up, to be honest. So the other one I'd read in this category was Sundial by Katrina Ward. I really didn't like that. I gave it 2 stars. Got a rant review on it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And that got, what place did that get? 4, 8, 12. 16th place. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I was kind of interested in that Cherry Robbers when I looked at it all. But it's in 19th place. So it's obviously not massively popular. But maybe. So yes, I didn't vote. The winner's Hidden Pictures. I don't really think it's worth reading. I think it's worth reading for the illustrations, but otherwise, not so much. And yeah, Sundial, wouldn't recommend it. But I think the ones I'm most excited to read on here are Just Like Mother and The Violence. So that's in the kind of mid-rankings. So I'm skipping human non-fiction, memoir, history, biography, graphic novels, poetry, and we're going straight to debut novel. So let's see. So the winner is Lessons in Chemistry. I think when I looked at the debut novels, there's lots of like repeats from all of the other categories. So Lessons in Chemistry won, and like I said, want to read that one. Daughter of the Moon Goddess is 2nd. Every Summer After is 3rd. The Maid is 4th. Like I said, interested in reading it. Remarkably Quiet Creatures is 5th. Flicker in the Dark is 6th. Black Cake is 7th, so they're all the ones I was interested in. We've also got The Hacienda again, How We Go in the Dark again, Our Wives Under the Sea again, Jackal again, The Measure again. Yeah, so Lessons in Chemistry, definitely want to read that one. Definitely want to read The Maid. Definitely want to read Remarkably Bright Creatures. There's a lot here I want to read, actually. So, yeah, what was that? The Hacienda and How High We Go in the Dark got 4, 8, they got 11th and 12th place respectively. So yeah, which is the last one. So young adult fiction, I don't think I've read any. I don't think I want to. The Final Gambit one, which is the Inheritance Game series, and I would like to try that one. I am interested in it. That got how many votes? Just over 70,000. And then 4th place is The First to Die at the End. And I would like to read the first book in that because I know it's very, very popular. I've heard lots of people say it's kind of like one of their favourite books. Probably won't be reading any of the others. So yeah, interest in those. Not surprised that the Inheritance Games one has run because I've definitely seen lots of people talk about it. Young adult fantasy and science fiction. I don't think I've read any. I probably won't, but let's see who's won. Gallant has won. Oh, by V. Schwab. She's very popular. So yeah, that makes sense. Not read anything by V. Schwab, but I do have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I actually had it on my TBR, or I have it on my TBR. I think I had it on my TBR. I've not read it yet. I just didn't get around to it. I think I kind of only read like a book every like 1 to 2 weeks. So if I put like 4 or 5 books on my TBR for the month, I'll probably only read like 3, perhaps 3, but potentially 4 if it's been like, you know, if I've been getting through 1 a week, but generally not so much. And I don't think I'm interested really in any of the others. No, that's fair. I guess this Gallant one, is that actually part of the series? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not even going to pretend. So yeah, that was interesting. So let's have a look at the main thing. So fiction, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, definitely want to read it. The Maid for mystery thriller, definitely want to read it. Taylor Jenkins Reid's Carrie Soto is Back, Worthy Winner, 5 stars. I would highly recommend you read that one. Sarah J. Maas's book won the fantasy. Romance with the Emily Henry, not surprising, she's very popular. I'm surprised that Sea of Tranquility won the science fiction, I have to say. But she's very popular, isn't she? She wrote Station 11 about the pandemic. I know everyone during the pandemic was really enjoying that because it was a similar kind of theme. Hidden Pictures for horror. If you love horror and you like the idea of having illustrations in a story, I'd recommend it, but otherwise I wouldn't. So I'm not going to look at any of the others because I don't know any of them. Debut novel, Lessons in Chemistry. Yes, definitely want to read it. And The Final Gambit was the young adult fiction. I will have to try and get the Inheritance Games one day. I kind of just don't want to start another series because I've got a few that I haven't finished. I haven't finished the Arc of a Scythe series yet, and I need to. That's my actual young adult series that I've not continued with. So yes, I need to do that at some stage. But yeah, I'm really excited to read so many of these books. I think I'm most excited for the kind of fiction category. I do need to catch up on the Bear Town situation for the Frederick Backman, the one with the octopus, the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, definitely. And I'm very excited for mystery thriller. There's so many there. And also, though, so many I said I'd never read again from the author. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm most excited for The Maid, which is the winner, and The Wrong Place, Wrong Time. That one sounds really good. And I would like to try and Simone St. James. So I'd say those 3 I'm most excited for. And then historical fiction, like I said, Carrie Soto was a worthy winner. And I am interested for Lessons in Chemistry, just because it's had so much buzz. And I definitely want to read Black Cake, because I wanted to previously and then it went back. And The Marriage Portrait. So yeah, that was good. None of the winners were massively surprising, I don't think, which is understandable. So if you have read any of these, I'd love to know what you thought. Now you've had a bit of time to look at the winners, definitely let me know. Are you pleased with who's won in certain categories? Are you really disappointed that some of your favourites haven't won? Is there anything that was like really surprising, like ones that you thought were going to be, you know, winners or right at the bottom? Did any of them shock you in any way? I'd love to know. So yeah, and also if you have read quite a few of these books, did the ones you voted for to win, have they won? Let me know. Just let me know anything about the Goodreads Choice Awards and your thoughts on it. I'd love to know what you have to say. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.